warm welcome to everyone who has joined us today for Microsoft 365 E7 webinar. We are delighted to have you with us as we explore the capabilities of E7. If you have any questions during the webinar, please post it in the chat box or Q&A window. Our experts will get back to you. Before we begin, I would like to hand over to Mr. Savio, Pre-Sales Consultant Cloud Solutions at Noventic 7Cs Technology, who will take you through today's agenda and set the stage for the session. Over to you, Savio.
Hi, thank you so much, Anna, for the introduction. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining the webinar today with us. We'll start with the agenda for today's E7 webinar. We will start with a short introduction of the M365 E3 journey towards E7. We then move to AI adoption. We cover the E7 core pillars in terms of the core features, functionalities. We then move and focus more into the AI and the work IQ capabilities from Microsoft 365 E7, move into Copilot. We then talk about empowering innovation with AI agents and then Microsoft Agent 365. Now, before we dive into M365 E7, it is important to understand why Microsoft introduced E7, and that's precisely why we're talking about this particular slide here, and how the platform has evolved over time. Microsoft's journey has moved through three major phases: productivity, security, and now artificial intelligence. In the first wave, Microsoft 365 E3 was predominantly designed to provide organizations with a modern productivity platform. The focus was mainly to do with empowering employees with Office applications, email, collaboration, OneDrive, SharePoint, Teams, and work from anywhere capabilities. So this basically helped organizations to digitize the workplace and also improve the employee collaboration. So the key message from E3 was to see how people could basically transform and bring the collaboration and the Office applications and the core capabilities of the core workflows into the E3 stack. Then organizations became more digital. Cyber threats also increased dramatically. Microsoft responded with E5 and gradually, added enterprise-grade security, compliance, and identity into the entire portfolio. So now the technologies that were added were the Microsoft Defender stack, Microsoft Entra, Microsoft Purview, Microsoft Intune, and so on and so forth. So E5 basically introduced zero trust security, identity protection, threat detection, compliance, and governance. So this was where, from E3 to E5, the transformation came into security and how organizations could build in more compliance, governance, and security. Today, we are entering the next transformation wave, and that's AI. As we all know, organizations want to leverage AI for productivity and automation, but they also have concerns around how that can be protected in terms of a data protection side of things, compliance, governance from the AI side, security, and then responsible AI adoption. So Microsoft has basically launched E7 to address these challenges, and this is where we want to basically help you understand how you can help, how we can help you adopt AI securely and at scale. So E7 represents Microsoft's vision for the AI-powered enterprise. What it's bringing to the table is AI-powered productivity through Copilot. That's first. Second is AI agents and automation. Thirdly, security for the AI workloads, and then the governance and compliance for the AI. So the goal is not to simply just help employees work faster, but to also transform businesses and to help business operations through AI. Now, at a very high level, E7 is bringing in Copilot, which was something which was not included with the M365 E5. So that's going to help provide AI assistance across Outlook, Teams, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. It's bringing in something called as AI agents, which we'll talk more on in the next subsequent slides, which is now talking about automating repetitive business processes and supporting operational workflows. Thirdly is security for AI. So this ensures AI usage following, secure controls and governance requirements, and then AI governance to do with more on the visibility, control, and compliance for the AI-driven activities. So, from a business benefit, you would see the value of E7 extending beyond technology. It is mainly to see how we can help increase productivity. Employees spend less time on repetitive work and more time on strategic activities, optimizing operations, reducing risk, and driving innovation. And the technical benefits also are more from an IT perspective, helping you with a unified platform covering a cloud-first architecture, integrated security and compliance, a unified platform for everything, including the core capabilities of E5 and all the capabilities of AI, which are built into the platform now with E7, simplified management and enterprise scale. So with that said, this gives you an overall picture of the roadmap of E3 to E7. And now I would like to hand over the platform to Ilyas to take it over from here. So Ilyas, please, from here.
Thank you, Savio. Hello, everyone. All right, let's dive right into this. So, over the last few quarters, we've moved from AI assistants that helped you write and summarize to AI agents that actually act, invoking tools, connecting to systems, and driving outcomes. The adoption curve is steep. By 2028, we're looking at around 1.3 billion AI agents in use, which signals a structural change in how work is getting done. Executives aren't treating agents as a side experiment. 82% of organizations intend to integrate agents within the next 1 to 3 years. So this is now part of the near-term planning cycles and not just a 5-year horizon. And it won't be limited to a handful of pilot apps. By 2026, 40% of enterprise applications are expected to be integrated with task-specific agents. That means agents embedded in workflows across sales, service, finance, supply chain, and IT. What we're seeing across customers is a consistent pattern once AI moves into real workflows. These outcomes aren't coming from isolated pilots or one-off experiments. They show up when AI is embedded into the work that actually happens, especially in engineering, operations, customer support, and go-to-market teams. When developers have AI integrated into their daily tools, delivery speeds up significantly, and teams spend less time on rework. When employees have AI embedded in their everyday workflows, productivity increases without any headcount. When customer-facing teams redesign high-volume processes around AI, support and service become drastically more efficient. The important thing is that it isn't just a single number that we're looking at. It's that the impact shows up across the entire business. It's not just one function. That's the difference between experimenting with AI and what we call frontier transformation. That's AI becoming a core operating capability that compounds value across teams, processes, and outcomes. The main issue is, though, that AI doesn't just add productivity, it also adds risks. So, on top of your existing threats, it's creating new ones, like manipulated prompts, data pipelines, plugins, and agents that are acting at machine speeds that we can't keep up with. That's why this moment is a bit different than other moments. The security approach that worked before aren't going to work now with the AI and agent-driven world. So to address these changes and to help every organization confidently become a frontier firm, there's one place to start, and that's trust. The stark difference between companies experimenting with AI and frontier firms it all comes down to one main thing. Frontier firms combine intelligence and trust. They don't just add AI tools, they connect intelligence that understands how work gets done, how business operates, and how enterprise knowledge comes together. That's what moves AI from experimentation to delivering real and reputable outcomes. But intelligence on its own isn't enough. At scale, trust becomes the accelerator. Frontier firms design trust from the start, with a secure, compliant, and observable foundation beneath every single agent. Agents have identity, clear boundaries, and accountability for outcomes, so innovation can move fast without introducing unmanaged risk. When intelligence and trust work together, organizations unlock the full potential of AI. Innovation scales, risk is a managed decision, and IT maintains control without slowing the business down. So more builders can participate, more employees can empower, and AI becomes part of the flow of work. So this is what organizations actually need to confidently scale AI and to become frontier firms. Think about it this way. When you onboard a great employee, there are two main things that you do. You give them context, which is basically the knowledge and the data and an understanding of how everything works. But you also give them controls, and those are the policies, the guardrails, and the accountability. It's what stops them from stepping out of line, doing things that they're not supposed to do. Agents are no different. So if an agent can touch a message, a file, a meeting, a system, and any data, then they need the same enterprise-grade controls as people do. So the question isn't, can an agent do a task? It's, can it do it safely, consistently, and measurably at scale, obviously. To support organizations in this journey, Microsoft introduced Microsoft 365 E7. ME7 is the productivity suite for human-led, agent-operated enterprise, turning human intent into action with AI that runs securely at scale. ME7 brings together Copilot, agents, and built-in governance via Agents 365, so organizations can operationalize AI safely at scale. ME7 combines the full E5 security and compliance foundation with an integrated AI stack, delivered as a single governed platform. So ME7 empowers a human-led agent operating system, all of which is work that AI can take action and not just generate content. It also adds a unified governance layer for AI agents and cross-app intelligence. Take a look at ME7. First, it puts AI in the work. And this is contrary to somehow, copy pasting your entire life and your entire work into a chat window and expecting any form of insight from AI. It's about AI being infused in tools that people love and use every single day, seamlessly, and while it's accessing real work and real work that everyone is doing. The second point is empowering innovation. There's a maker in all of us, and everyone wants to put tools in the hands of people that can create AI artifacts right in the flows of work. And the third, and I think the most important one, is governance and management. It requires observability at every layer in the stack. So what the agents are doing, how many people are using these agents, what workflows the agents are accessing, and what results we're getting, and if they're even useful. So to govern, manage, secure, and optimize the AI that you put inside your business. Let's start, first of all, with AI in the flow of work. This diagram shows how Copilot is the orchestration mechanism for workers at, as they navigate through their day-to-day work. So Copilot is with you in the flow of work, handling the complexities behind the scenes so that you can focus on outcomes and impacts. It starts with you working with Copilot in every single app that you use every single day, powered by the best models within your company's secure environment. Copilot includes an ecosystem for agents to help complete the right tasks, whether that is any form of deep research, advanced analysis, or content creation. But underneath all of this sits Work IQ, the brain behind Copilot. So traditional productivity tools only operate on raw data. So that's emails, files, meetings, chats, and organization data scattered everywhere. But raw access won't be able to help you answer questions like, for example, which document matters to this project? Or who should I collaborate with on this project? Or let's say, based on the past work patterns that I have, how can I improve to get more done? So Work IQ understands context, relationships, and work patterns. So Copilot has reason and not just response. You can unleash that intelligence where you work every single day. When we talk about AI in the flow of work, we don't just mean inside an app. We mean across operating systems, across devices, across the cloud. So AI can follow you across tasks without context switching. So Copilot is woven across the core apps that people know and love to provide an integrated end-to-end AI-driven experience. And we can see that in action already, with AI meeting you where you already are, and in the apps that you're already using, like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, Teams. And these capabilities are more sophisticated and can go across and beyond individual apps. So Copilot stays with you wherever you work. So you can see in this example, we can see a user who's going through their day preparing for a product launch. To do so and using Copilot, they prepped for their day, they got news briefs, they built competitive messaging, and they produced a pitch deck, doing all of that without losing any context.
PowerPoint Agent in Microsoft 365 Copilot makes it easy to create presentations from chat. Just open the agent and describe what you need, like an executive deck, market overview, or project update. That's all you need, and PowerPoint Agent gets to work. It starts by asking clarifying questions tailored to your prompt. With your approval, the agent begins building, running quality checks along the way. PowerPoint reasons across work data, like files, emails, meetings, and the web as it plans your presentation. Your idea becomes a clear, well-structured presentation, ready for review, editing, or further analysis. It's easy to continue refining in chat or open PowerPoint to keep working.
All right, so you got the opportunity now to see how Copilot works and what it has to offer, and how it understands the work that you're doing built into the applications that you're actually using. It doesn't just answer or suggest, it plans, it completes multi-step works for you directly within Word, Excel, PowerPoint projects. The work stays native, transparent, and fully reviewable, so the user has control. The second important pillar to empower your intelligence and trust is empowering innovation. It's the ability to build, and it's the ability to build across all teams. So it's no longer sitting in one team. You have knowledge workers, analysts, and developers who can all become makers in the sense of making flows, whether that is in low code or pro code, and it all shares one system. Organizations are moving beyond early AI experimentation. The single one-size-fits-all agent approach doesn't really work. It breaks down pretty quickly. So different types of work require different types of autonomy, context, and integration. Some scenarios will probably require Microsoft-built agents. Those are designed to handle common and repeatable tasks with strong defaults for quality, safety, and enterprise governance. Other scenarios benefit from partner agents, for example, where industry-specific expertise or vertical solution accelerate time to value without customers having to build everything themselves. And in many cases, your organization was going to require custom agents tailored to unique workflows, data, and business logic, especially for differentiated or mission critical processes. The key shift isn't that customers have to choose one path. They can mix and match, whether that be Microsoft, partner, or a single unified experience. So what matters is no longer who built the agent, but whether the agent is grounded in real work, connected to the right systems, and governed consistently across the organization. Once AI is embedded in the tools that people already use, work accelerates without friction. Pre-built agents help employees move from ideas to finished artifacts inside Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, including SharePoint as well. So you'll see research, analysis, content creation, and collaboration improve without having to introduce new tools. These agents operate transparently, and the work is always reviewable. So they're maintained under user control. And I think that is the most important part, having user control. Now, Microsoft has created the Microsoft Marketspace and the Agent Store to help you access all types of agents, from third-party vendors to custom agents that you built yourself or agents made from Microsoft. And it's all accessible through Agent Store, which is inside Copilot, and the Marketplace from Microsoft. Now, building scales the same way. You have lightweight agents that are built inside Agent Builder, or enterprise-grade ones that are built inside Copilot Studio or third-party apps. What matters really at the end of the day is that they're all built on the same shared foundation, so you don't end up with parallel systems running the same things. And the main challenge our customers are facing on a day-to-day is that their data is all over the place. It needs to be reached from many different places, and it is way too much data. So, how does an enterprise bring all of that data together? Not only to get a single view of the data, but also to expose it to their agentic workloads. Well, you have 1400 plus connectors and MCP servers that you can integrate into your existing knowledge and tools to allow you to go live faster. When it comes to custom agents, there are four main things to know. Microsoft is providing the latest from OpenAI, Anthropic, Grok, and many more. MCP connections that we just discussed that connect straight into your line of business apps. Automated tests to catch hallucinations, which are thorough evaluations to ensure that our results are not hallucinated positives, false positives, or anything of those sorts. And the ability to connect specialist agents to solve bigger problems together. As confidence grows, agents move beyond assistance into execution. Agents follow defined pathways to ensure consistency and compliance and handle dynamic, high variance scenarios with guardrails. With that, critical workflows will run faster without sacrificing control, is operating safely at scale rather than just being random pilots. Agents are more effective when they work alongside people and not separately from them. They use the same apps, the same data, and collaboration service as employees. And human agent workflows become seamless rather than bolted on. Innovation scales when agents are embedded into how people already work. This is how AI becomes part of the operational model and not just a side project that we're trying to work on. The last and honestly the most important point is observability. As innovation accelerates and agents proliferate, visibility becomes a non-negotiable. Frontier firms insist on observability at every layer of the AI stack, whether that be security, governance, performance, or business outcomes. Actions need to be visible usage, impact, and risk needs to be measurable. And leaders need to understand how AI is operating, where it's being deployed, whether it's delivering real value. Observability is how trust scales. It enables organizations to govern, secure, and improve their AI systems with confidence. Now, you're no longer just securing people. You're securing the agents alongside them, touching the same data and the same systems. And that's why Microsoft 365 E7 adds a control plane that covers users and agents together rather than separately. Agents bring new power and new risk. Securing them comes back to the same fundamentals you use for people, which are identity, least privilege access, data protection, and threat defense. And when that security is built into the foundation, organizations can scale AI confidently without slowing innovation and increasing operational risk. Microsoft 365 is designed as a single coordinated security system, sharing context across identity, email, device, app, and data. Powered by trillions of daily signals, every control reinforces the next. So when an attacker tries to pivot, the platform automatically shuts down the next move. That's the difference between disconnected tools and comprehensive security that actually works together. For business leaders, that means fewer outages, lower regulatory risks, stronger protection, without having to add any complexity. The best way to manage agents isn't using a new security model. It's extending the one that everyone is already used to and everyone already trusts. Agent identities get governed just like user identities, and the data they touch is protected through its lifecycle, so there's no new operational complexity for your team. Agent 365 is the control plane for these agents. It enables scale, adoption for all agents with proper oversights, guardrails, and security by extending the management and security capabilities you already use to secure users to securing agents. It is an integrated solution that has three core capability areas. First, observe, because you can't control what you can't see. So with the Agent 365, you can monitor and manage agents in real life. Next is govern, which is governing agents through their lifecycle with the right guardrails for agents and users. And finally, you have security. So securing agents comprehensively so that they cannot be misused by malicious actors. So let's dive into these three capability areas. First, observability. Because again, like we said, you can't control what you can't see. So Agent 365 delivers visibility into agents in your environment, provides analytics on how they're being used, and key metrics that allow technology leaders to act quickly on performance, behavior, and risk signals before they impact the business. The moment we know what agents operate in our environment, the next most pressing question is how to get them under control. So governance isn't about slowing teams down. It's about putting the right guardrails in place from day one to enable scale. Agent 365 extends IT's existing policy-driven governance to agents, controlling how you can create and who can create and onboard them, and enforcing guardrails on every step of the way. It allows organizations to only give agents access that they need, following the patterns of least privilege access, and stay audit ready with built-in compliance and data retention. The third capability, and the one at the heart of Agent 365, is security. Agent 365 includes embedded Microsoft security capabilities from Defender, Entra, and Purview to help you secure agent identities, control access to resources, prevent data oversharing and leaks, and defend against threats and vulnerabilities. Agent 365 delivered enterprise-grade comprehensive protection for all your agents. And it's important to note that Agent 365 is not just for agents that were built with a Microsoft AI platform. From the start, it was designed to work with ecosystems of agents across partners, platforms, and agent builders. All it takes is to integrate the Agent 365 SDK, which is included into Microsoft's agent framework. Microsoft's goal is to make it easy to integrate agent control into existing IT and security processes and workflows. Because every professional today must be learning AI platforms and tools, and not just the IT and security solutions. We believe that the fastest path to getting agents under control is by managing them in a similar manner to managing users. With Agent 365, you extend existing infrastructure and protections from people to agents and integrate agent management into existing workflows with familiar Microsoft solutions. So, as stated before, E7 combines Microsoft 365 Copilot, Agent 365, Entra Suite, and the full E5 security and compliance foundation. This integration matters because AI, identity, and security are no longer separable concerns. The value of E7 is not in a single feature. It's the way these components work together as a system. Organizations adopt E7 to run AI as an operating capability and not as a collection of pilots. So, what's next? Well, we want to work with you to understand more about your priorities and discuss how we can partner together to unlock your frontier growth. To support you on your AI journey, Microsoft has created the Copilot Success Kit, which introduces a collection of resources to help accelerate your organization's onboarding and adoption. It includes several tools, including an implementation summary guide, a user enablement guide, the Copilot Scenario Library, the Copilot Gallery, and many more. Agent 365 is designed to be accessible through the familiar admin and management experience. Organizations can start by enabling visibility, then progressively adding governance and security controls. This phased approach allows teams to move in their own pace while maintaining trust. Now, we've helped many customers plan and run their frontier transformation, and every organization is different in their goals and their needs. So we can meet you wherever makes sense to you, whether that be top use cases, AI readiness assessments, an overall AI strategy, or learning more about the opportunity in the Agent Factory. It's been a pleasure presenting to you all. Thank you for your time.